Hi guys, today we're going over the first holiday palette that I have purchased for 2015. It is my favorite time of year. This is from Too Faced. This is the Le Grand Palais palette, and it does come with a really cute set that I'm going to show here in a second. This is the eyeshadow palette slash face powder palette because it does come with 2 blushes, a highlighter, and a bronzer. But this is it right here. It's a really beautiful palette. The whole packaging, of course, is very typical of Too Faced. It's very pretty. This is the box that it comes in, really beautiful. And all the shadows are laid out in the back with what comes with it. When you open that up, this is what's inside. There's a bow on top. And the unfortunate thing is when I opened this, I immediately noticed that it was already pretty dirty. I mean, it's not like I'm going to have this out on display at all times. Maybe I am, but I was like, oh, it's already dirty. And then I opened it up. Really beautiful. This reminds me of a class project in school, in elementary school especially. Did you guys do any science projects where it was like this style where you took a shoebox and then you had these little like dinosaurs or solar system or whatever in here and you had it on display on your desk? That's what this reminds me of. But it's really pretty. There's this little display over here. It has some Too Faced stuff in these bags, really cute. And then it comes with 3 deluxe samples. This is the Better Than Sex Mascara, the Too Faced Melted Peony Lipstick, and the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Eyeshadow Primer. And then right in here is where the palette is. So the palette pops right out. And another thing that I noticed is that right over here, and this is pretty cheap cardboard packaging, so it's not that much of a surprise. And this is actually foam right in here. But this part was already kind of smushed and it looked like some fingers had gotten in there to like pull out the palette at some point. It was like indentations of 3 fingers. It was so bizarre. So that kind of threw me off. So again, here is the palette. I love that it comes with 3 of these larger eyeshadows that are more for your highlight and your brow bone, maybe even all over the lid. But just like the chocolate bar palettes from Too Faced, they give you a pretty decent size of those. And then there are 15 of their eyeshadows right in here. 2 blushes, a highlighter, and a bronzer. It is cardboard packaging. There is a magnetic closure right here, very similar to the Lorac Pro palettes. I'm gonna go through the pros and cons of this palette. The pros are that I think these are very generous sizes when it comes to eyeshadow. Another pro, of course, is the overall packaging, like I mentioned. It's really pretty. Every time you open this up, it just kind of feels like you're getting to see a work of art. Another pro is that there are 2 shades in here that I think are really great for the crease. This cool light tan shade over here, or light brown shade. This one reminds me of, I think it's called Peanut Butter in the Chocolate Bar palette. And another pro to this palette is the gold right here, which is called Wish List. And it's a really pretty buttery gold. The blushes are really pretty. They're more of a satin finish. I used this one today, as you will see later on in this video. And this one's also a really pretty peachy shade. I used the highlighter today. It's pretty natural looking. It's not a wet looking highlighter. It's kind of powdery, but I did notice that it catches the light. Now we're gonna get into the cons. Although I love the packaging, I do wish that it came with a mirror. Whenever I open this up, it's so big and I'm thinking, gosh, even the slightest mirror in here would have been so cute. Mirror, you know, in a palace, and it's an actual mirror for you to use, or something like that to maybe incorporate it into the art, I think would have looked really nice and also would have been a little bit more practical. Another thing to keep in mind is there are only 4 matte shadows in this entire palette. The rest are shimmery and very glittery. Some of them are even very chunky. So that is a con for me. And the chunky ones have a lot of fallout, not very pigmented. As pigmented as they look in the pans, they are not that pigmented when you apply them, which is really unfortunate. The bronzer is really warm and it does have shimmer in it. It is the Sun Bunny bronzer, so I wouldn't necessarily use this all over my face. It just wouldn't look right for me. And another thing to keep in mind is this is $58, and in the end, yes, you do get your lipstick, your Melted Peony lipstick that I do really like and I am wearing right now, and your Shadow Insurance primer that's probably going to last you a pretty long time. And if you like the Better Than Sex Mascara, it's a deluxe size, so that's really nice, and you do get this for $58. But I don't really think it's worth the $58. I think the experience of opening it is part of the $58, so if you want to include that, I think it's a really nice gift if you want to give it to someone who's really big into makeup. I wouldn't necessarily give this to a makeup beginner because the shadows are not very forgiving and they're not that easy to blend and work with. And I love my Too Faced chocolate bar palettes, both the semi-sweet and the original. I think the pigmentation on most of those shadows are really great, especially the original chocolate bar palette. And so knowing that, I was a little disappointed in these. The matte black over here, it looks super black, and when I swatched it on my hand, it looked really nice. My voice just cracked a little bit, but it does not compare to, let's say, the black matte eyeshadow and the Lorac Pro palette. This is not that pigmented, there's a lot of fallout, and it just kind of comes off pretty dusty on my lids. So with this palette, I'd say that if you are a big makeup collector, makeup lover, and you just like owning every holiday palette that Too Faced comes out with each year, then yeah, this is a really pretty palette to have in your collection. But if you are just looking for the next new great palette, to me, this is not it. It comes with this little pamphlet right here, and it does have 4 looks to choose from. I tried this one right here, the Sweet Soiree, and it's supposed to be a purple eye look, but the purple was not pigmented, and you're gonna see that at the end of this video. But overall, it just didn't really do much for me. I'm first using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Eye Primer that came in the kit. I'm using this all over the lid and up to the brow bone. I'm going to try out this look right here. They have multiple looks that you can choose from. There's one on the back here as well. And we're just going to try out the purple one. It says to use White Christmas as a base all over the lid. Next, it says to use City Lights in the crease. So this is the purple. I'm going to grab that for the lid and also on the lower lash line. Oh, that is not pigmented at all. I think it's showing up better with my finger. I just put some eye drops on the brush, and now I'm going to try to pack this on. Much better. You can use eye drops, MAC Fix Plus, or water, whatever you have on hand. And for the outer crease and to use as a liner, this is the matte black over here. You can kind of see the fallout down here. And for the inner corner, it says to use Arc de Triomphe right here. With no additional product, I'm just going to go back in with the brush that I used for that first crease shade, and I'm going to blend everything out. For the lower lash line, I'm going to add a little bit of black liner. Now I'm just going to finish off the look with some false lashes, and I will be right back. I finished applying some false lashes and added a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes, and now I'm going to finish off the face with a little bit of the face powders that are down here. These two are blushes, highlighter, and a bronzer. So I'm going to grab this shade right here. I used it the other day and it was really pretty. Top off the look, I will try this highlight shade right here, and it's called Flush. And that's it for this look. I used a little bit of the face powders, and the eye makeup just was not as bold as I was hoping for. I know that some people do prefer eyeshadows that are a little bit more washed out because it's a little bit more flattering maybe on mature eyelids, or just other people who aren't looking for that really intense purple. But knowing Too Faced and how intense they can get their other colors and other palettes, I feel like they just missed the mark on this one. I think it was supposed to be pigmented and it just did not turn out that way, especially the way that they had it here in the pamphlet. I also have little glittery particles down here, all because of the inner corner. I barely put any inner corner highlight in here, and that glitter is just falling all over the place. So overall, this may be a great palette if you are a makeup collector and you love holiday palettes that come out and you're an avid fan of Too Faced, then this might be a great one to just add to your collection. I have heard that some people really enjoy it, so it's just depending on the person. I personally did not really care for it, but I still think, of course, it's really pretty. I just cannot let the packaging get to me. That's what happens with me. I love the packaging so much, I'm like, well, maybe I like it a little bit. Well, I mean, I do. I like certain aspects of this, but overall, I don't think it's worth the $58. That's just my honest opinion. I wanted to be honest with you guys. I know some of you were interested to know what my thoughts were on this palette. If you guys have received this or you were thinking about getting it, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Or if there are any other holiday palettes that are coming out that you're interested in, let me know what those are as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye!